Hello, my name is Will Stanley. I serve as the vicar here at St. Stephen's Church, and I'd like to welcome you to this inaugural video encapsulation of Seasons of the Spirit. This is our quarterly magazine, which outlines the myriad ways in which we live out our faith in this place. You'll hear stories in this video from my colleagues and others talking about things they're excited about in this edition. This Seasons of the Spirit is a way for you to stay engaged, both in print and on video. We're grateful that this ministry will continue to help us tell stories in this time of pandemic, and that it will also give us ways to communicate effectively and quickly when things need to shift. We, like all churches around the country, have had to make some shifts about the fall because of the Delta variant. And so we've set up a landing page on the website, which you can find at the lower third of this video, that will direct you for one place to understand what our pivots and adaptions will have to look like this fall. But we're excited that you've tuned in here, and we hope you enjoy this resource.
I have a quote above my desk in my office that's by Irenaeus of Lyon, and it says, "The glory of God is the human person fully alive." The first time I heard that quote was my first year in seminary, and I thought, cool, I want to be fully alive. I bet that's really fun. And what I've learned is that being a fully alive human, I think, is about being opened up to every facet of what it means to be human in this broken and messy world. So being fully alive is actually not always that fun, but instead it's about being aware, and it's about telling the truth about what's going on inside ourselves and in a community in relationship with one another. And so for me, being fully alive, and what I think Irenaeus means is about the work of reckoning with the truth of the world as it is and showing up fully to that truth. In May, I was honored to receive a fellowship through the Episcopal Church Foundation and to be named one of 2 fellows for this year. And this fellowship comes with a grant to implement a project in your community of ministry. And my project is about this work of reckoning. Ultimately, I hope that it's about reconciliation and learning to live together in a community where we don't all agree, because that can be really painful and it can feel really hard. But for the first steps, our work together this year is going to be learning to feel our feelings, learning to tell the truth about our feelings to one another and to hear that truth fully. And we're going to try to do this in a lot of different ways. And then we'll continue with a number of small group conversations to practice different tools of reckoning. The Lombard Mennonite Peace Center, which is one of the premier conflict resolution and mediation groups in the country, is coming to offer a workshop on the October 2nd about conflict transformation and conversation in specifically Christian parishes. I'm really grateful to the Episcopal Church Foundation because one of the things they honor in this fellowship is that it's a time of experimentation. Especially grateful for the generosity of this community in letting me try out this part of my ministry with you. And I can't wait to learn what you have to teach me about reckoning and about being fully alive. And so while my hope is that all of our meetings will be able to happen in person with safety protocols in place, I'm also at this point kind of excited to have to respond to the world that we live in as it happens and as it unfolds. And if that means that some of our reckoning work becomes digitally based, or is through writing, or through outdoor meetings, or any number of sort of creative practices to gather and tell the truth, I think we'll find that through our own ingenuity, through everything we've learned in the past year, and through the work of the Spirit in this project among us, that we will learn how to be fully alive, truly fully alive, even in a time that might make us think we should sort of suspend life. We're not going to suspend life, not even for this project. We're going to figure out how to live together as completely as possible, even in the midst of it.
My name is Will Stanley. I'm the vicar here at St. Stephen's Church, and I'm excited to be the teacher again for the Adult Inquirers class this fall. The Inquirers class is a great opportunity for folks to re-engage or to engage for the first time at St. Stephen's. It's part lecture, part discussion, part conversation about our life of faith here in the Episcopal tradition. The Inquirers class will cover a lot of basic topics about living the Christian life historically and today. And we're grateful that we'll be able to do it in person this year here in the nave, thanks to our great live stream equipment, also giving folks a chance to engage virtually if they're more comfortable that way. We will have a primary resource for conversations and lectures on these topics, and that's this book, Episcopal Questions, Episcopal Answers. This served as the text for the last time we taught the Inquirers class on Zoom, and we'll provide readings to folks every week. But really, I'm hoping that this will be as much a time of conversation and exploring together what questions we bring to Christian faith, to the Episcopal tradition, and also to St. Stephen's Church, and how we live that out in some particular ways in this place. We're hopeful that this fall we'll be able to continue all the way through this course, which begins at the end of September through November, culminating with time in this place for a tour of the church and an instructed Eucharist. And yet we also know this is a time of immense unpredictability with the pandemic. So we invite you to stay in touch, to keep apprised, to lean into the ambiguity of this time, even as we give thanks for the ability to be in person this fall. Lots of different people take this course for lots of different reasons. Some people are brand new to St. Stephen's and have never been part of our life before. Other folks come to this because they've been part of our life and they're seeking ways to be recognized for their journey of faith, particularly through sacramental rites like confirmation, reception, and the reaffirmation of baptismal vows. All of those opportunities come with the presence of a bishop, which traditionally happens here at St. Stephen's in May every year. So this can serve as a preparatory course for folks who seek to be confirmed, received, or reaffirmed. This also is an opportunity for folks who are not new at all to St. Stephen's, who simply are seeking a refresher of faith and a re-engagement with their spiritual life. We're excited that folks can be engaged with this offering both in person and live stream. We invite you to take part, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
I'm Brent Tavelda, Director of Music here at St. Stephen's. Musically, this upcoming program year will look a good bit different than normal, obviously, but we're very thankful that we're still able to plan and offer special concerts and services again with choirs and large ensembles. We had initially announced that we were hosting the Three Choirs Evensong here at St. Stephen's this fall in October, and since then the three choirs that participate annually have all decided to distance their choirs and worship, which makes us all coming together a bit impractical. So we're waiting another year with that. But in December, the Winter Solstice concert will be returning, which will be a beautiful candlelit concert of a cappella choral music, sung this year by a sanctuary choir. And this year, as it's falling on December 17th, I thought we would celebrate one of the most ancient monastic rituals of the season, which was the singing of the 7 great O antiphons. They're called the Great O antiphons because they each begin with a title addressing Christ from the scripture in Isaiah. O wisdom from on high, O Adonai, O Emmanuel is the last one, the seventh. And this is paraphrased too in the hymn, O Come Emmanuel. And one of these would be sung before and after the singing of Magnificat by the monks each night at Vespers, each night leading up to Christmas Eve on those 7 nights. And the antiphons have inspired composers over the centuries, and thought it was appropriate this time to feature virtually brand new music by all living composers. 2022 will be the 200th birth year of César Franck, and we've decided to celebrate this through an offering of 3 different concerts, beginning with a first installment of Franck's complete organ works. In January, my friend, former classmate Trip Kennedy will be visiting to offer a first installment of the organ works. He was the winner of the prestigious Prix de Chartres, which is a competition that takes place in Paris. And he's become known internationally for his interpretation of French organ works. Then in February, as is our tradition, we will offer a concert of masterworks of large choral and orchestral works, again celebrating Franck's legacy with 2 works that were his spiritual successors or his actual students in Paris. First, the Vierne Messe Solennelle, and second, the Fauré Requiem, one of the most beloved requiems in the repertoire. And then to close out the program year, I'll offer a second installment and final installment of César Franck's organ works to round out the complete works. Obviously, at this point, this year we're in a much better position than we were a year ago. We're very thankful for measures such as masks and vaccines that we're able to make plans for the best case scenario. But we'll continue to very closely monitor public health markers in Richmond and decide step by step what's the safest for our choirs and other musicians. We're super excited about this upcoming program year and look forward to seeing you all at services and concerts.
My name is Anna Jones, and I manage the farmers market at St. Stephen's, and I also work with the food outreach programs here. At the farmers market, we are applying to accept SNAP benefits, which would mean that people who receive SNAP benefits, which used to be called food stamps, will be able to shop from our vendors and then be reimbursed. And we are also applying for a program called Virginia Fresh Match, which is administered by Shalom Farms here in Richmond. And that would mean that those same people who are using SNAP benefits get fresh produce at 50% off. Beginning on the first Saturday in October, the market hours will change to 9 a.m. to noon. They're 8 to noon right now, and then they'll change to 9 to noon the first Saturday in October, and will stay that way through next spring. And for the winter market this year, which begins the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we're going to stay outside again. And that's what we did last year too. And it allows us to stay spread out and out in the fresh air, which is safer for everybody. And last year, everyone just bundled up and came on out, and it was a great time. And we'll do that again this winter.